We're going to start grounded on our knees in a child's pose at the back of your mat. So go ahead and come down, let your knees get nice and wide, big toes together, and you're going to bow yourself forward, bringing your forehead all the way down to meet the ground. Take a moment here and begin to drink in a few deep, full inhales. Following those inhales, you release all of that oxygen out with some emptying exhales. A few more big breaths just like that. In through the nose. And exhaling it out. Maybe like me, you open your mouth to sigh out that exhale. One more in breath. One more sigh, exhale. On your next inhale, see if you can walk your fingertips a little bit further to the top of your mat, sinking your hips a little closer to your heels. Then we're going to take an inhale next, lift up the crown of your head and begin to walk your hands over towards the right side of the mat. Maybe taking your left hand and grabbing a hold of the left side, maybe both hands grabbing a hold of the right side of your mat and gently tugging your mat forward as you press your hips back. Take a few more breaths, opening up the left side of your rib cage here. Each inhale, letting your hips sit back with each exhale. One more full round in and out. And on your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back through center and take them all the way over to the left side off of the mat, or maybe you take your hands and grab a hold of the side of your mat, giving you a little anchor here. Pressing your hips back to your heels, a few big breaths to open up the right side body, in and out. Final round of breath here. When you complete that exhalation, walk back to center with your arms and your forehead. With your next inhale, begin to press yourself up, finding your way into tabletop pose. Wrists are right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. We're going to match our big breath now with some fluctuations of the spine. So you're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. We call this cow pose. And then exhale into a cat pose, just like a Halloween cat. Press the back of the heart to the sky. And moving back and forth, inhale, belly drops, finding your cow. Exhale and round, really pressing through the tops of the feet, knees and hands. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time, inhale, belly drops. Exhale, tuck and round. And then with your inhale, find a nice neutral spine tabletop pose. All right, from here we're coming straight into our first downward dog. So give yourself a little space. Take your hands one palm print forward and then begin to tuck your toes as you lift your hips up and back, creating that upside down V shape with your body. Take a moment to walk out your legs here, bending one knee, letting the opposite heel extend down to the mat. Maybe shifting in to the hip of that extended leg, side to side. And then you're going to let both heels start to sink as low as they can get towards the mat. As you sink your heels down, begin to soften behind your knees. Take a big breath in. And with your exhale, see if you can push your heart back a little more towards your knees, towards your thighs. One more breath in and out here. And gazing to your hands, begin to tiptoe, slowly walking all the way to the top of your mat. Feet meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, reach your heart nice and long. Exhale, melt yourself down. Take a moment here in a forward fold. So ragdoll, you can shake out your head, shake it out, yes and no. You can reach across to opposite elbows, see if that allows a little extra space. in your vertebrae and your spine this morning. And then take one more moment, inhaling to gently wave away from your thighs and exhaling to dive a little bit deeper. One more breath in and out. With the exhale, if you took the bind, let your fingertips drape down towards the ground. On your next inhale, you're going to lift halfway up, bring your hands to your shins, push your heart forward. Imagine you're making your spine parallel to the mat. Exhale, bow back down, bending in your knees. You're going to find that same flat back, this time hands onto the hips. Flat back, elbows wrapping up to the sky, finding that parallel spine. And then leading with your heart, begin to stand up all the way into your Tadasana with a nice straight spine. Drop your hands down by your side, palms facing forward. Feet can stay planted right where they are, or you can walk your feet a little bit closer together. Maybe even the big toes come to touch. Into Tadasana, standing nice and tall, firmly rooted, expanded, tall and open through the crown, through the chest. Take an inhale to circle your arms out and up, reaching them up together. And as you exhale, bring your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment, either gazing at your fingertips or close your eyes. Standing tall, lift your heart into your thumbs. Connect with your motivation or your intention for showing up on your mats. Something to do with yourself, perhaps, and being here for yourself. Tuning in to that which motivates and inspires your heartfelt intention. And then gently opening up your eyes. On your inhale, you're going to take your fingertips, reach them high to the sky, find an upward salute. And with an exhale, reaching out like rays of a sun, forward fold. You can bend your knees along the way. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come onto the shins. Reach your heart nice and long. As you exhale, let the hands come down to the mat. We're going to step the feet back, and this time into a plank. So the hips stay low. And you can stay in this high push-up, or maybe let the knees rest on the ground. But in either place, begin to fire up through your core, taking a couple moments to soften what you can, soften around the edges of your experience. We'll take one more breath together and use your exhale to soften slowly down to the ground. We're going to inhale, peel up into Cobra Pose, lifting up through the chest and the heart. Squeeze your elbows into your side body. Exhale, lower. Make your way back into downward facing dog, lifting up and back. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it out. On your next inhale, look forward. Walk, step, or float quietly, feet meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, folds. Inhale, reach out and up, fingertips high. Exhale, hands to your heart, completing our first sun salutation. We're going to go through it again, one breath, one movement. Inhale, reach fingertips high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high plank, high push-up to low plank, or lowering all the way down, or you can hover. Finding cobra again, or perhaps upward dog as you straighten the arms and you lift your thighs off the mat. Exhale into downward facing dog, we all meet. Deep breath, fill yourself up. Empty yourself out. And then lightly move to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach out, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, completing your second. We'll do one more. Maybe close your eyes and see if you can just ride the wave of your breath, moving mindfully. All right, inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low push-up. Inhaling into your cobra or up dog, that back, taking it back to downward dog on your exhale. Deep breath here. Exhale to empty. Look forward, walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, sweep it out and up. And then exhale, palms together. Take a moment and pause. If you haven't closed your eyes, close them here or at least gaze down to your fingertips. Tune in. Notice what's beginning to shift since we met yourself here last. Our sun salutations are named that because we began to really fire up and awaken all of our joints, all of our muscles, our heart and our breath, starting to engage with all of it here. All right, now we're gonna add on, coming into sun salutation B. Starting with chair pose, begin to lower the hips to the ground into an invisible chair. Keeping the hands at your heart center, extending them up into that full extension, just like a piece of lightning, a lightning bolt here. Sinking lower into the hips, and then reaching a little bit higher through the shoulders. Take one more breath, filling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the earth. Feet step back. Chaturanga flow or nataranga if you want to come straight to down dog. Really learn to listen. We don't always need to do more. Often, especially in this life, we need to do less. All right, from your down dog, we're going to root into the left foot. Begin to reach your right heel straight back behind you. Feel that extension as you extend long through the heel, flex your toes towards your face. You want to see all 5 toes facing down, even that pinky toe. One more inhale here. As you exhale, bring your right foot forward, step it between your hands, left heel flat. We're coming into warrior one. Hands can come at your heart center first, yeah. Then sink into your right knee. And then press into your back foot. Your hips might be opening a bit to the side. You want to try to square them to the front of your mat. So you're drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. And when you're ready, bring your hands up towards the sky, fingers lifting high. Keep the shoulder blades sliding down the back. One more breath, maybe looking up, getting a little bit more length. On the exhale, circle the hands to the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left. Chaturanga or nataranga. Make your way to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Begin to shift weight into the right foot. Inhale your left heel up and back. Take a moment, pause here. Engage the navel towards your spine. Pressing actively through both palms. See if you can flex your foot nice and strong. All 5 toes to the ground. Press a little longer. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the knee to your nose, step your left foot forward, right heel flat, warrior one, hands begin at the heart center. Sinking into the left knee, knee over ankle. Pressing into the outer edge of your back foot, really strong. It's called a warrior because we're really strong and fierce from the waist down, from that navel down. But we're not warriors, so we want to be light from that heart up. So reach up through the fingertips, reaching up through the heart. We become that balance of effort and ease, grounding down to reach up. One more breath. On the exhale, hands come down. Pause here. We're going to skip this round and just step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down. Sink your hips into chair pose and inhale, arms high to the sky or at the heart center. Inhale, neck straight up. And exhale, release the hands down by the side. All right, we're going to take a little bit different variation this time. Let's sit low, chair pose. Arms moving up to the sky or perhaps at your heart center. And then beginning now to root down into your right foot. We're going to inhale, coming into a one-legged upward salute. Take an inhale. With your exhale, you're going to step that left foot back, landing this time in a crescent lunge. So keeping the heel high, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, open up into warrior two. So now you're facing towards the long edge of your mat. Bend your right knee over your ankle, pressing into that left foot. Turn your palms open to the sky. Take an inhale, reach forward. We're gonna scoop up and reverse your warrior. Keep bending your right knee long as you reach the right fingertips back. Taking one more breath in. And then as you exhale, you're cartwheeling the hands all the way around your right foot into a lunge. And then you're gonna step your right foot back to meet your left, with or without taking a vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Deep breath in, empty out. This time, root through the left foot, reach your right heel high, bend and open up the right hip this time. So the right heel sinking down, you're peeling that right hip up and away from you. I call this dog at a fire hydrant, like you're really trying to mark your territory here. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands, back into that crescent lunge again, sinking deep into your right knee. This time you're gonna bring your arms out into cactus arms. Keep squaring your hips, reaching tall through the heart. All right, you're gonna come forward with the arms and finding our way into eagle arms, bringing your left elbow under the right. So left elbow under, maybe the palms, maybe you grab onto the shoulders, wherever you can get them here. Pause. Now start to lean forward. We're going to step into the right foot. Try to come back into that one leg Tadasana. Reach the left knee up. This time we're going to sink, drop the right leg or the left leg over the right, finding our eagle legs. So with eagle legs, your toes can be a kickstand. They can be lifted. You'll notice my thighs are really squeezing together here. Try to find a little tuck in your tailbone. Try to keep those shoulders rooting down. Take another breath in, sit a little deeper, exhale. And then on your next inhale, begin to straighten in your standing leg. Step your left foot down, reach all the way out and up. And then as you exhale, just let your hands settle down by your side. Shake it out. All right, we'll shift that to the other side. So on your next inhale, begin to sit down low, reach your arms up high, finding your chair pose, thunderbolting with the arms. This time you're going to begin to step into your left foot. On your inhale, reach your right knee up, finding a one leg Tadasana. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, step the right toes back, find a lunge. Take an inhale and then exhale, opening into warrior two. The left knee is forward this time. Sink deep into your left knee. Again, in our warrior pose, anchor into the legs. Find the fulcrum, the fire of your navel, lifting up through the heart. We're going to scoop up and back, upper body reversing in our warrior here. Keep sending your left knee a little deeper into the bend. One more inhale, reach it back. And on your next inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands around your left foot. Left foot steps back to meet your right. Taking a vinyasa if you choose, or I'm going to come straight to downward facing dog. And then you're going to lift that left heel up to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, open up the left hip. That big hike of the knee, right heel sinking down. You're still pressing your heart back. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, step your left foot back between your hands, finding your crescent lunge once again, balancing on that back foot. Open your arms out, this time into those cactus arms, feeling the heart space open up. We're going to find those eagle arms again, this time the right elbow hooking underneath, maybe the back of the hands, maybe you grasp onto the shoulders. Take a moment to lift up through the elbows, breathe. And then you're going to begin to lean forward with the elbows, maybe shifting a few times forward. You're going to step off of that right foot and start to bring the right knee up, one-legged Tadasana. And then into your full eagle, cross your right leg over your left. Lift your elbows, soften the shoulders, breathe here. Take one more moment in and out. And then we'll unwind the legs, reach the arms up high, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, step or float back, high plank, taking your vinyasa. We're just meeting in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. All right, right heel's gonna reach up again, bend and open up your right hip. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, you're stepping your right foot back between your hands, this time walking it over the right side of your mat. Both hands come to plant inside of your right foot, drop your left knee down. You're gonna turn your right toes about 45 degrees open and let your knee wing out away from your side body. Starting to feel this opening on your inner thigh. Slide your heart forward as you sink your pelvis forward. You can stay here on the palms or bring it down onto the forearms. Meeting yourself. It's what this practice is about, seeing what comes up. Letting it be there, knowing that in order to heal, we need to feel whatever sensation, even the discomfort. You're going to come back up onto the hands. So we're going to straighten in the right leg, and you're going to come all the way back to sitting on your left heel. So you're sitting on the left heel. We're going to fold forward into a hamstring stretch over the right leg. Breathing here, in and out. Your next inhale, begin to lift your chest. We're going to come back up onto that right foot. Tuck your left toes under, lift the knee. And then you're going to reach that right leg all the way back up. Bend and open the hip once again. You can stay here. We're going to flip your dog. So you take the right toes down to the ground outside of your left. The easiest way is to begin to flip around, and you can set your bottom on the ground. The right hand's lifted, and then you can re-lift up. Press your hips up, pressing up and back, reaching through the right hand. Now you want to try to come back around. Look to the ground first. Get your hips low. Kind of start to swivel. Let your right hand come down. Your left foot stays down. See if you can find your right leg back to the sky. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right foot down to meet your left. Next inhale, lift your left heel up. Bend and open up your left knee. Big breath to open up. And then as you exhale, you're going to step your left foot forward in between your hands, sinking low. Begin to toe heel the left foot to the outside of your left pinky finger. And then you're going to drop your right knee to the mat. Uncurl your right toes, finding our lizard. Turn your left toes 45 degrees open away from you. And then let the knee fall open like a wing. Falling away, the inner thigh begins to open up. Wake up. Sliding your heart forward, staying on the palms, or you can come down onto your forearms. Softening into your breath. One more breath here. I'm going to come back up onto the palms of your hands. Begin to shift back to sitting on your right heel. Sit up nice and tall, and then you're going to fold over your straight left leg, finding that hamstring stretch, half splits on the other side. Your next inhale, begin to lift up. Coming back forward onto that left foot, tuck your right toes, sweep that left leg back up and open. And then go ahead, bring your left foot down to meet your right. Final downward facing dog. Breathe in. And exhale, breathe it out. Look forward. You're going to bring your feet to meet the hands and then all the way down to seated. And then all the way down to your back. Your feet to meet the floor right close to your hips so the fingertips can graze the heels. You're going to walk your shoulder blades underneath you so that they're nice and flat on the mat. Your heart's already open here. On your next inhale, press through the feet. We're lifting up the hips, finding bridge pose. Hips are coming as you can to the sky. Pressing even more into the inner edges of your feet. Notice how that really turns the legs on. To soften your glutes. Breath pressing down. Lift up. And exhale slowly. Your hips come down to the mat. Let your knees windshield wipe from. And then we're going to do that one more time. Press down into the feet and to curl the tailbone up. Lift your hips all the way up to the sky. This time you can bend your arms, fingertip to the sky, press through the elbows, lifting up the upper back. See if you can walk the shoulders a little more underneath you, really getting space in the upper back. And then find that inner edges of your feet again. Find your legs really alive here. One more moment, pressing down as much as you can, finding that space. And then as you exhale, slowly roll yourself back into a flat back and let the knees windshield wipe from side to side. This time you're going to come into neutral with the knees, walk your feet together, and then let your knees fall open. Bring your left hand to the top of your chest and the right hand into your low belly. Keep your eyes open since we're still here in our asana, not quite ready for Shavasana. Take a moment just to capture your breath into the palms of your hands, really expanding big into the torso with each inhale, feeling that softness of each exhale. Taking in everything about your environment, about this morning, arriving with open eyes and an open heart and an open mind. Breathing some life into that inspiring place, that intuitive place of wisdom that brought you here this morning. One more breath. Emptying it out. Remove your hands and allow them to come to the outsides of your thighs. Gently bring your knees together like a book. And begin to draw your knees up and in towards your chest. Give them a nice hug here. Rock from side to side. We're going to finish with a twist. Take your arms out, open into a T. Keeping your knees, take them up so that they're stacked over your hips and your ankles are in line with your knees, just like you've fallen into a chair. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, let your knees fall all the way over to the left side. Just letting gravity do the work. Your gaze can move the opposite way, bringing that twist into the neck. Long, full, deep breaths. Your next inhale, begin to move through center, and then exhale, let your knees fall all the way over to the right side. Gaze can turn to the left. Letting gravity do the work here. Your next inhale, you'll begin to bring the legs back up into center. This time, bring your arms up around your shins. We're gonna give your knees a big hug, nose towards your knees, squeeze yourself in, thank yourself, love yourself. And then you'll release yourself into a full surrender, finding your Shavasana, heels extended long towards the corners of your mat, palms open to the sky to receive, to be open this morning. If you need a little more grounding, you can return the hands onto the torso to stay grounded in. Close your eyes. Tune in to the natural rhythm of your breath. Begin to recognize any thought or sensation that tugs at your attention, tries to distract you. Use them as tools to come back, to anchor back. Breathing in and breathing out is all that you need to do in this moment. Taking just another moment to really sink in. This is the true jewel, the true gem of this practice. The nectar and sweetness that we seek is not in the doing, but in this simple experience of being. Take just a few more breaths to arrive back in this space of peace and ease. Perhaps remembering what it was that brought you here and joyfully finding gratitude for completing the journey that you committed to. Begin to bring movement to your fingers and your toes, waking up your container. And you'll begin to extend your arms behind you, extend your legs out long, a full body stretch, feeling that prana or that chi or energy begin to really wake up and percolate. And then go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. You're going to roll over onto your side. Either side, find your fetal position, or what I like to call the OG yoga pose. Feeling the comfort of being here in this familiar space. And then pressing into the hands to lift yourself up. You'll make your way into a seated space. Crossing your legs, anchoring down into your sits bones and reaching up nice and tall through the crown of the head. We're going to reach out and up, and we'll close with the hands at our heart center. And today, in celebration of it being spring and all the beautiful wildflowers blossoming around us, we're going to take this mudra and begin to blossom open. Bring the 3 fingers away from each other. This is our Lotus Mudra. And in this lotus, it's a special flower because it doesn't always come from the most pristine meadow, but instead it grows out of the mud and it grows out of the muck and the messiness. So for me, it's the perfect representation of our capacity to move and grow through those challenges and obstacles in our lives. And this is what, for me, this practice has really ingrained. So let's remind each and every one of ourselves, of yourself, of this lotus within. Close your eyes, take a few breaths, and perhaps think about this lotus nature in your life, where you may have found your way to the light despite darkness, dirtiness, messiness. Perhaps just the simple act of showing up this morning on your mat to blossom into a little closer relationship with yourself, instead of letting yourself be pulled down by resistance or laziness or whatever it is that keeps us away, right? Blossoming is a choice to lift ourselves up into the light. Take one more breath in through the nose here, and with your exhale, sigh it out the mouth. We're going to close in the sound of Om, and feel free to let this internally vibrate if you prefer. Take a big breath in, and we'll exhale to Om. Om. Feel the palms now begin to seal together into our salutation seal as you lift your thumbs up and to the third eye as we salute ourselves and we salute one another. The light and the wisdom within me recognizes the light and wisdom within each and every one of you. We are one. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.